ladies and gentlemen. I am your co-host, Andre C. And right over here is the Nacho Jumbo Princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Not so jumbo. I heard nacho and I was like, hell yes. I am all about the tacos
Oh,
and
I didn't even,
nachos.
I didn't even think
Yes.
about
Yummy.
that.
I am doing great, Andre. I am rocking a Himeka inspired look today for this show to represent the Jumbo Princess and had some fun doing some filming with it too. Hoping the footage turned out. Didn't get a chance to check it while I was going because your girl's got to go when she's going. Hopefully, we can get a tutorial put up here. It's going to be going on our local establishment, hopefully, sometime at the end of the week here. But, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. Had a couple long days where I haven't been sleeping much the last couple nights because I've been watching Stardom. Stayed up till 2 in the morning watching this show live. Then I got up at I think I went to sleep a little after 2, got up at 7, then had to go to work, and then worked all day, and then came home, stayed up. I didn't stayed up till again 2 in the morning watching this show. Got or 1 in the morning got watching this show. Then got up at 6 and went to work and came home, finished it, and it was an incredible show. That's all I can
Mm,
say. It was worth all the
what a
watching and
show.
all the lack of sleep. It was very much worth it.
100%, 100%. Six and a half ish hours of.
So, well, I'd say 5 hours and 40 minutes because the file has an extra 40 minutes of just nothing on the front of it.
hmm It was still very exhausting for this girl to get through who watched most of it except for the main event in one sitting of it. It was a very long day, but an exciting
Yeah,
day. Without further ado, we should get into it, my guy.
yeah, absolutely phenomenal. We are talking about All Star Grand Queendom from Stardom on April 23rd. But before we do that, I want to
Mhm.
thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the support you're giving us. Please like and subscribe, whether you're here on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or it's here on Backbreaker Video. Whichever it is, please like, subscribe, and go to the other channel and like and subscribe to that channel too. And biggest thing, comment down below. We love to hear from you. We love to talk to you. So please give us some comments down below. We want to hear from you.
Mhm.
And we are going to get into it. Bam! There we go. Got the slide up. Beautiful. Again, they're posters. Me and you talked about this off air when we were recording the last show. The posters Stardom does are absolutely
So good.
gorgeous. Just the artwork. This one's it's very surfer, classic surfer vibe is what I feel in this one.
Mhm. It kind of gives me like hippie vibes, like Woodstock kind of
Mhm.
flower power.
Yeah, very much so. It's very much that style. I really like it. So we hit on to the first match, and this one's I think, probably gonna take us the longest of anything to go through, just to run through this.
Mhm.
Um, oh, before we get into it, the pre-show we had on commentary, we watched the English commentary version of this show. I was so
Mhm.
happy. I'm really, really, really hoping the English commentary version goes up on Stardom World and people have the choice to watch either English or Stardom for this whole show once it's on the World, because I thought Chris Charlton and especially Sonny Gutierrez did an amazing job on commentary. I
Mhm.
love Chris. I think the guy is an absolute tremendous commentator. But I think and not that he didn't do, he did great on this show, but I
Mhm.
find he's best as the second to Kevin Kelly, the info guy for Kevin. He's Kevin's color, Kevin's info guy. That's where I really really praise Chris. Him
Mhm.
leading here was absolutely phenomenal, but and did it. Sonny was just so good on this
Mhm.
show, and we'll get
Mhm.
into who joined them afterwards here
Mhm.
once we get to that point. But dude, these two I thought did absolutely, and they gave you a lot of information that even us as fans, I got little bits of information that I never would have gotten if I was just listening to Japanese commentary.
That's very true. I unfortunately did watch a large chunk of this without volume as I was doing other things and was in another place where I wasn't actually able to listen to it out loud. So unfortunately, I did miss a large chunk of it, but I did catch the last three matches with audio as well as the Rumble match and I believe the first match as well.
Mm, yeah, but
What say you?
Absolutely phenomenal. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get into it. It is the Yokohama Rumble, whatever you want to call it. They were saying Rambo on the broadcast, but it says Rumble on the graphics. So we'll go with that. Waka Tsukiyama and Hanako started off. Hanako definitely with size advantage. They're a little bit of a brawl and they're fighting and roll ups and was Walk against Apollo special as I always called the Walker ride. It's Apollo special. I want to say I didn't quite
I
get what.
think walk a ride sounds better.
Yeah, the Walker ride as we get to call it on Hanago, and Koguma enters the match. Koguma's just standing there, just like watching them hit each other, and it was just. it was quite funny as they're tossing forearms at each other. So
Mm-hmm.
Momokogo enters the match. It's a high cross on Chiwaka and Hanako. Again, I'm not going to go through all of it. It's so much. Saida enters. Lady C enters. Lady C getting the beautiful
Okay, but
double.
you have to talk about Saida's intro because holy shit, was
Okay,
that funny!
I don't think I wrote it down.
She came in and Koguma and Momo had Hanako
Oh,
and
in the
Waka in the
clutch.
Koguma,
Yeah.
and Saida just came in there and she looked like she was gonna
Oh,
go
she
and bet
started
on her own
posing.
team, and she's just like power,
Yeah, yeah, that was good.
power flex from stars.
Yeah, Saya just like flexing with them. It was really good. Lady C enters the match, gets a double lariat on Momo and Kokuma, and Cesaro spins Momo, takes out Ida at the legs with it too, which I thought was like really like that spot. Uh, Yuna Mizumori enters. Yuna ends up taking down Lady C with a running cross. That is literally she took so long to get to the ring. That literally was the next person was coming in as she entered and hit the running cross. Aya Sakura enters the match. Um, Lady
Yuna's
C,
smart though. Yuna's smart.
yeah, Lady C, Saida, and Yuna Mizumori end up going over the top, and Momo ends up going for the 619, but Lady C and Yuna Mizumori duck it. She hits Saida, her partner and friend, or stalemate and friend, and knocks her to the floor, getting eliminated. And then Aya and Momokogo super kick Lady C and Yuna Mizumori, and they go to the
Hmm.
floor and are eliminated.
Hmm.
And Koguma's just rolling around on the floor. And I noticed it a bunch in the match where girls would slide out the bottom and just disappear for a little bit. It-
I mean, yeah, some of them would take a get their butts beat for a little bit and decide to take a breather on the
mhm.
outside, get some water, maybe have a chit chat with some of the teammates that are around
Yeah.
side for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that also. Yeah.
So yeah, then Hina enters the match, gets a delayed suplex slam onto Aya Sakura.
Hmm.
Rina then enters the match, and Hina's throwing judo throws everywhere, but Rina comes in, attacks, gets an octopus on her sister. Then as Aya comes in, gets a dragon sleeper on Aya, so getting the double submission there, but doesn't tap them out or anything. And then
Hmm.
a lady enters the match, and until her graphic came on, I had no idea who it was. It's Hanan. Holy shit! Like brand new gear, the hair's all done up in a different way. Like just like almost look like just look like a different person. Honestly,
Yeah. The music gave it away for me. I knew, as soon as I heard, I knew she was coming out before I saw her. But I had the same reaction when I saw her. I was like, "Holy Hannah Montana!" She's got curls. She's got blonde, new gear. It looks really, really good, actually. I really, really like it.
yeah, like she looked like a different person, legitimately.
100%.
Hanan gets in high crosses on Hina and Rina, then
Hmm.
figure four headlocks Hina, and then this whole train of people doing figure four headlocks to each other. All like this giant train of people doing figure four headlocks. And then Aya Sakura decides to go the other end and gets the Boston Crab on Hina and turns the entire train of people over.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then Ram Kaisho enters the match and she runs across the entire train and like smacks Aya Sakurai to break it up.
Hmm.
Um, Yoda enters the match. Everyone gangs up on Aya Sakura and pins like a giant gang pin on Aya Sakura to eliminate her. It was just like I saw like 4 or 5 people just pile on top. I was like, huh, okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then really quickly, not too long after she entered the match, Koguma ends up getting a stack pin on Ram Kaicho and eliminates her. So she
Hmm.
was in there for a minute or minute and a half, maybe
She
two. Like
wasn't in there terribly long, though.
no,
Which is
uh,
disappointing. I really enjoyed Ram Chow.
Yeah, so Ram gets eliminated, and Fukigen Death enters the match. Chanyota then clotheslines Hanan and Hina off the apron because after they were sent over and eliminates them.
Mm-hmm.
Chanyota then tosses Rina over the top to her sisters on the floor, just yeets her
Mm-hmm.
and eliminates Rina. So Chanyota's doing pretty darn well at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fukigen Death poses to the crowd and Chanyota's just like, what the are you doing? But Chanyota ends up slamming Fukigen Death and but only gets two on the pin. Mai Sakurai enters the match. Mai comes in, boots like that. Those big boots of Mai Sakurai's are freaking great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Legendary wrestler who hasn't wrestled in a lot of years, Momo Nakanishi, enters the match. She's actually the wife of one of the Stardom commentators, too. Mai hits her somersault leg drop and eliminates Momokogo. Again, she shouldn't be hitting this move just randomly in a rumble. Just hit a DDT and eliminate. Like, it's just... save your tailbone.
Starts to hurt.
Well, save your tailbone, girl. And then Nakanishi gets knocked off the top and gang attacked, but like Kogo ends up saving her from getting pinned and shit. It was, I found it weird. The machines all come out together and then progressively enter the match. The Stardom machines. So
some production.
Yeah. Hanako ends up eliminating Koguma with the boot to the face. Hanako trying to eliminate Momo Nakanishi, but people keep saving her. And it's just this weird point of people saving each other from getting eliminated. It makes no goddamn sense unless it's your actual partner. It makes no darn sense. Hanako suplexes Momo and hits an Argentine backbreaker, but Momo ends up slipping out and pins Hanako. I was like, nice. Chanyota stops Waka from eliminating Momo, which again makes no goddamn sense. And then attacks Moho Nakanishi, but then Waka stops her from eliminating her, and it's like, why? Like, none of this makes sense. Chanyota ends up hits lariats on Waka and Momo Nakanishi, but is hit by Mo. I can't remember which Momo hit, and she eliminates Chanyota. Strong Machine and Big Machine get in, and they knock Fukigen Death down and pin her. Waka then gets that Tiger suplex into the roll up on Momo Nakanishi. So a big elimination for her, eliminating a legend in this Rumble. And gets elimination of Momo Nakanishi. The machines end up double teaming Waka, and the smallest of the machines, which I'm pretty sure I know who that is, but I don't even try to guess. I know that one. The other two, pretty sure the big one was Lady C returning, and then the middle one, I'm not sure. Was it Yuna Mizumori? Okay.
I think it's Yuna Mizumori.
I thought it might be the somebody else, but
a little bit at the end that I can tell you about that made me think even more that it was Yuna Mizumori. So if you want to continue on until
it makes sense from the eliminations that so Waka gets eliminated by the double team from the Giant Machine, ends up eliminating the Tiny Machine and Big Machine, inadvertently hitting them and knocking them off the apron. And then Mai Sakurai tosses out the Giant Machine, and she's declared the winner. The lady has won the Rumble.
She did indeed. Now, did you see afterwards Koguma, I believe it was, running around with the pineapple glasses on?
No, I did not.
Afterward, I was pretty sure it was Koguma, because she's usually the goofy one anyway. And she actually interacted with... which one is Giant and which one is
Giant was Lady C. Stardom Super Strong Machine was Saida. And then there was the big. Then there was regular machine, or what I'm going to call Tiny Machine, Big Machine, and Giant Machine.
Okay, well, the one that we suspect was Yuna Mizumori approached her and actually started giving her hell for wearing them and actually stole the pineapple sunglasses off of Kaguma
That makes
after
sense.
the match. So this kind of tells me a little bit more that it might be Yuna Mizumori. Also, that just the style of it is very much that controlled, awesome chaos that Yuna Mizumori kind of does.
Okay.
But yeah, my Sakurai picking up a great win on this.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. So,
Hmm.
yeah, but a big win for my Sakurai. After the match, she calls fans peasants. She's going to be looking out for her teammates later on in the night, and we'll have wine at a fancy hotel, and you can buy cheap drinks from concession. This is all from Chris Charlton's translation, so I don't know if it's right or not.
I mean, he does pretty good in NJPW.
Yeah. So Momokogo was supposed to join the commentary team, but
Hmm.
she ended up getting hurt. I'm pretty sure on that somersault leg drop from Maya Sakurai. She kind of landed on her head, but ass first.
I
And
mean, there was a lot of head trauma for Momo in that one, also because she was the spinneroonie thing that took out Saya Ida when Lady C did the
yeah,
spinner too.
but my Sakurai literally came down on her from the
100%.
flip ass first on the head. I'm probably gonna because and if you're watching Momo, she was like this when she was getting spun. So she would have
Mm.
been protecting her head from when she was getting spun. So I'm gonna go with probably getting somebody landing full steam on your head is probably what fucked her up.
Okay, it could be both too. Well,
Yeah,
just
that
saying.
very again that too, but I suspect that one. But again, that's mine. That's my suspicion, right? But we're gonna move
Regardless,
on.
you got the medical attention.
We move on to an 8-woman tag match. It is Thekla and Club Venus's Mariah Zena and Jesse taking on Oedo Tai's Natsuka Tora, Momo Watanabe, Saki Kashima, and Raka. Um, Club Venus doing like a dance to Thekla's music that they came out to.
Hmm.
And all doing a dance while Thekla just stands there posing, looking, all dominant and shit. Everybody's dancing around her. It was actually quite funny.
There
Um,
was actually one point in that entrance where you could see Thekla almost crack.
mhm.
Almost cracked. She almost cracked a smile.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what they were trying to do is
Hmm.
like mess with her a bit
I
there.
mean,
But
the
yeah,
whole match, yeah.
yeah, I really like Jesse's corset thing or whatever the heck it
Mm,
was, like the midsection piece.
yeah.
I love the color on it. Looked really, really good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Again, Thekla getting the leg choke early to Ruaka, and the rest of Club Venus like do all like the poses around her, and
Mhm.
you could just tell that she's just like fuck off. It's not
Yeah,
look
she was very
like
like, "What are you guys doing?"
yeah. Natsuka Tora's new gear looked absolutely awesome.
Mhm. Okay,
I
now my
love.
question is, are the little circles on the side emojis? Because I spent most of the match trying to figure out what they were.
I honestly am not sure.
I thought they were crying emojis and like laughing you're so hard you're crying emojis. I was like,
That's cool.
I mean, it would be, but it's like how odd.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
New looks for pretty much everybody going into this match, whether it was
Mm,
gear or hair or something. Um,
mm-hmm.
Momo coming out with a new haircut and the purple streaks. Ruaka doesn't have this pink look anymore. She's now got the blonde and the purple. Natsuka Tora completely purple.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one who didn't really was Saki, and she wore her special gear with her trench coat and the
Yeah. So again,
awesome
she
bonnets.
dressed up and went to a special gear for it. So it's not like she
Hmm.
didn't, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
But again, absolutely fun 8-woman tag. Nothing really to write home for in this match. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't really like really they're good match. There's nothing like super highlight about it. Again, it was a standard 8-woman tag from Stardom. A good 8-woman tag, but yeah.
Um, Something I noted that is Oedo Tai really worked very fluidly as we have come to know and love from them as a faction. I felt there was a lot of like fun being had by Club Venus. It was a lot of showboating, a lot of woo, yay, butt slap, butt slap, butt slaps. like lots of fun showboating from them, which I felt kind of added a little bit to actually their story and their characters, because it really kind of sets them off as that kind of cool new fun group. What
Mm.
I did enjoy was Tora mocking them at one point when she was in there with Mariah May, and Mariah May was going ah, mwah, and Tora just suddenly turns to the crowd and goes, and I was just like completely taken aback because you could tell she was annoyed doing it too by the way she just rolled her eyes afterwards and continued beating up on Mariah May. Um, the spinning backbreaker that Mariah May does over her knee is utterly brutal. She broke
Mm-hmm.
Saki in half doing that. I mean, you picked the
Mm-hmm.
smallest girl in the group to do it to. That was smart. Um, Thekla standing on the shoulders of Xena and Mariah to do
Yeah.
the splash on Saki, with Jessie following up with her that end of days looking kind of finish that she does, that spin around thing.
What the
I
joy?
really enjoyed that.
Charlton
Um,
called it the Joyride, or
Troy,
maybe
okay.
it was Sunny. One of them two called it the Joyride. That spin out into like a reverse end of
Okay.
days, essentially. Like it's a
I mean, it
reverse
sounds
end.
better than the end of days.
Yeah, it's a spin out into a reverse end of days is what it is. But yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, that was broken up by Oedo Tai getting in there because I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that Saki was going to be kicking out at that one.
Mm.
Um, yeah, a little bit of confusion at the end there as we were winding down to the finish. Um, Oedo Tai doing some, Oedo Tai stuff, getting in their weapons. Ruaka's case found its way into the ring.
But
Um,
you can't blame Oedo Tai for what happened though.
no, 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 I was getting there. Goodness.
You know.
Thekla manages to get her hands on Ruaka's case and unfortunately ends up decking Jessie accidentally after Mariah May really goaded her on to strike. I think it was Tora. I'm not entirely sure who she was
Mm-hmm.
trying to strike. As soon as, and this is what, how smart Oedo Tai is, as soon as that happened, the rest of them just swooped in there and took out the rest of Club Venus, allowing for that pin there.
The
Mm,
Kishikase.
Take it
Yeah.
to the end, Andre.
Yeah, so at the end, May hits Jesse in the face with the case. Oedo Tai takes Club Venus out, and Saki gets the Kishikase onto Jesse, and Oedo Tai gets the win. And then
Mm-hmm.
after the match was one of my favorite things. Mariah May ends up carrying Thekla. Like one of the other members was carrying Thekla at first, but then they put her
Xena.
down, and then Mariah May picked her up and was carrying her up the ramp.
Yeah, yeah, it was Xena who originally started piggybacking Thekla and then switched her around to the fireman's carry. And Thekla just went full plank on her and was just stuck right out. Her legs were stuck out and she was all dramatic and everything. It was hilarious. But
Yeah,
yes,
it was.
she ended up in Mariah May's arms after that,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny because she wasn't the one who took the pin in that one. But, tomato, tomato. It was a fun match.
Yeah. Maybe move on to what they were saying the main card, but for us, it was all in my pay per view. The pay per view I bought. And guest commentator, third member of the team, Mariah May.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did a pretty good job. Like
Mm-hmm.
you didn't hear her a lot, but when she was there, she had a lot of good information to impart,
Mm-hmm.
especially during Mina Shirakawa match. During
Mm-hmm.
the main event, she had some great stuff. The main event in that IWGP title match, she had some great on like the wrestler perspective for it a lot. I thought really did
Mm-hmm.
really well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we move on to the first match on the main card, I guess. High speed tag match. It is Starlight Kid and May Seira
Mm-hmm.
versus Azumi and May Suruga. I literally have to make sure I put Sarah and Suruga and everything so I didn't get my
Mm-hmm.
Mays mixed up. Starlight Kid with some sparkly new gear here.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it
Mm-hmm.
looked
Mm-hmm.
really, really good. I got some little information from the thing. May Sarah is from Marvelous. May Segura is from Tokyo Joshi Pro. And Azumi Falls coming out on the stage.
You
He falls.
know, I mean, First of all, we got to take into consideration everything that happened in there. First of all, she got launched out of a platform.
Hmm.
She probably landed on the fabric. When she spun around,
You caught.
swippity dippity. But and you know what? She took it like the champ she is. She laughed it off. She hopped back up. She figured out her footing. She made a joke of it, really, and just flippity flapped her way down the ramp to do that fun little pose with May at the beginning there, where May did that like back bend in front of her. Very, very cool.
Hmm. Again, it was little. It was pretty good. I like that she came in. I guess, and they had said that that gear was Suruga's regular, like like the wings and stuff. That was her kind of entrance gear.
Mm-hmm.
So Azumi putting it on, I like the cohesion in that sense.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
It creates there. I really did like that. Again, really fast paced, like um, high speed division match is what this was. Again, everybody moving so quick with a lot of crazy flips and like just the speed, the everything, the position switching. It was really good. Um, Suruga and Seira switching arms, like to try to get position, but they were kept switching it so quickly. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, that's some a real great ability there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seira with the beautiful drop kick off the apron to Suruga, and AZM dives off the corner, like goes over the top, over the corner, and dives onto Seira on the floor, and Azumi pulls it. It was just the hop up and the dive. It looked so good,
Mm-hmm.
like just
Mm-hmm.
so smooth. Like it didn't look like she had to like put up a lot of extra effort to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it speaks to the experience of the champion there. I
Mm,
really, really enjoyed Suruga in this. She kind of became the focus for me for a lot of the match, just because her
hmm
personality was just so much fun. She was so over the top, but it was in a way that was actually very enjoyable and very entertaining to watch.
hmm
There's just the speed that she has is insane. The way she could like pretty much almost outrun some of the fastest women that we've been watching in Stardom was pretty crazy. And she seamlessly worked with every single person, whether it was her teammate, whether it was against Starlight Kid, whether it was against Sarah. They worked so well together. It was incredible.
Yeah, I thought like both teams had like such cohesion, but like with their partners. But then yeah, when they're facing off, it's just everything thing moved so smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, Sarah ends up blocking La Mystica by Azumi, and Starlight Kid hits the 619. May Sarah rolls up Azumi, gets the win. This is two times in the span of 3 weeks that Azumi has been pinned in a major match.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one that took the pin in the IWGP title match, Sakura Genesis, and takes
Mm-hmm.
the pin here. So I think May Sarah has to get a high speed title shot at this point.
Yeah, it was simply implicated afterwards that she is certainly aware of that information and is certainly considering banking on it for sure.
I really do think that needs to happen because I would love to see them one on one. They did
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So they go. It cuts to the Japanese commentary and it's showing them talking about the upcoming match that has involving Fuwa-Chan. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess one of the guys that's on commentary is works with Fuwa-Chan on some of her specials and stuff on her TV
Mm.
stuff. She's also a comedian too, I guess, is what I read about. Um,
Oh.
and Mariah May makes a comment wondering why aren't they showing me? And then Chris starts praising her beauty, and it was a funny little comment in there. I really did like that.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit thirsty maybe. Move on. It's another tag team match. It's Hazuki and Fuwa-Chan, who's in only her second match ever,
Mm-hmm.
versus Miyu Amazaki and Utami Hayashishita. Hazuki was chosen as her partner as she was one of Fuwa-Chan's trainers. If you watch the video, she was working out with Giulia Okada, and which young lion was that? He was like
And that was Ryohei Oiwa.
okay, it was okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's just I I was like, I know him, but I can't remember his name right now. And I was just like, I feel bad because all I ever remember is Ichiban Sweet
It's been
Boy.
a hot minute since we've seen him in a match.
Yeah, it's a thing. So it's just like, so yeah, yeah. Um, and Mariah May makes because they were asking her about what she thinks about like celebrities coming into wrestling and like taking spots from people on active cards.
Mhm.
And Mariah May says, as long as you're willing to do the work and work hard at it, come join up and bring more eyes to stardom. I love
Mhm.
that she said that line because as long as you're willing to get in there and do the work and train and work hard at it, yeah, she's like, bring it. It's more eyes
Mhm.
on them, right? Because
Mhm.
think about how many people that are probably fans of her YouTube channel and her comedy, this Fuwa-Chan, that have never watched a Stardom match before, that
Mhm.
probably tuned in and paid to watch this show. There's probably a significant amount of buys that added just for her. And yes,
Mhm.
this match is going to be on TV free, but people like to see things live. It happens.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So again, I thought quite a good match. Like
Mhm.
nothing. Again, this was a very like more basic when you had Fuwa-Chan in here. Again, she is a young wrestler still with this company.
Mhm.
Utami flapjacking Fuwa-Chan and Miyu hits the seated dropkick. I always love a flapjack. Like gotta love the flapjack. Just up
Mhm.
and drive them face first into the mat. Um, Miyu ends up pulling a knee bar, but Fuwa-Chan like her struggle is pretty good when she's in a submission.
Mhm.
You can just see just like maybe a little bit over the top, but comedian is on TV, so I can understand why she would be a little over the top with the struggle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
but
adds to the entertainment of the overall thing of it, though, right?
yeah, uh, great sequence from Hazuki. Hazuki hits a code breaker onto Miyu. She gets two, but as soon as like the Miyu kicks, she immediately turns her over,
Mhm.
gets it, and so it's just that smoothness from Hazuki that we see. Well, I
Mhm.
know this girl's going to be just an absolute star for this company. It's guaranteed.
100%.
Guaranteed. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, but Itami ends up breaking that up. Uh, but yeah, Fuwa-Chan getting the scoop slam and the high angle Boston Crab to Miyu Amasaki, but or not Miyu Amasaki, Miyu, yeah, Amasaki. I did have it right. Okay,
Mhm.
so I sometimes mess the names up. Again, the very it's what all young lions in New Japan, young lions, the young girls in it's their starting submission move, and she actually did it pretty well.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, Hazuki getting that code breaker to a Tommy front who's on the top, sitting on the top rope. Oh, that looked pretty.
Mhm.
And then she ends up and then Fuwa-Chan goes up, hits the high cross to a Tommy, but only gets two.
Mhm.
I was like a great little sequence, but that code breaker she did off from to a Tommy who was sitting on top looked really good.
Mhm.
Big
Mhm.
scoop slam by Utami, and the rear naked choke is applied to Fuwa-Chan. But her again, it's that struggle. She looks so good. She makes it to the ropes. Utami comes back. It's just crazy lariat that like Fuwa-Chan legs kick off her. She almost lands on her, like she landed like up on her neck, like pretty much. It
Mhm.
was like, oh, that looked so rough, like
Mhm.
so rough. Utami hits another. Miyu hits the pendulum DDT, and then the deadlift bridging German suplex by Utami to Fuwa-Chan, and Utami gets the win.
Mhm. Mhm. I was actually very happy to see new gear on Miyu Amasaki
Mm-hmm.
tonight, and the fun entrance kimono that our good friend Yvonne loves on Hazuki also
Mm.
coming out tonight. Um, I felt that Utami and Hazuki at the beginning of this match was a really fun part of this match. I felt that it was that pickup part that kind of sped up a
Mm-hmm.
little bit from whenever Fua was involved there. Um, there was one point where they were just muscling each other about, and it was awesome. I did feel like a lot of the part that you were saying, the struggle between Fuya was definitely a show of team support of Utami and Miyu, really working hard to isolate her from
Mhm.
Hazuki to kind of get that hot tag later in the match. But you're absolutely right. The end of this match, where it kind of wound down and Utami just fed Fuwa a lot of these final moves. It was Utami 100% flexing her strength and reminding everyone why she is the Red Queen. I was so stoked that they came out to Utami's music tonight instead of the regular Queen's Quest theme. The Queen's Quest
Mhm.
theme is not my favorite. I feel like Utami's music is very like
It's awesome.
aggressively triumphant.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very. But after the match, Utami gets the mic. She says, you've come far, and welcome to being a pro wrestler." And she ends up leaving.
Mhm.
Fuwa-Chan in and respect that she about it and get more training before deciding if she wants to return and make this a career, like make this more of a full-time thing, which I perfectly respect. You did the training, you worked hard, you've had a couple big matches, you got dropped in your head a few times by one of the best women's wrestlers to ever exist.
Mhm.
Yeah, then Hazuki ends up saying anytime she wants to wrestle, Hazuki will be there. I was like, it's classy, I liked it.
Mhm.
But again, I thought really just good match. Like it's just a good tag
Mhm.
match.
Mhm.
But we move on to a match that I was so looking forward to.
Mhm.
Oh, Maika though. Remember we were talking? I think it was last show, or we were talking that Mike. We hope Maika would have new gear. She did, and new hair.
Yeah, that hair was fire. Literally, it was
Yep.
red.
Yeah, it looked great. Like
I
the
agree.
new
I think it looks bomb on her.
robe look, the new like cape or robe thing she has, and the new gear.
Yeah, we can
Like
call it a
it
robe.
very similar in style to her old gear, but new color, new everything. Looked really good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Himeka coming out looking like a jumbo princess with the with
Yeah.
the robe that she's wearing looks like a dress. It looked
Yes.
really good. Yeah. Yeah. But and guest ring announcer Mina Shirakawa. I was very
Oh.
excited about that one. Looking great in her black suit, by the way.
Mhm. Mhm. And what a job she did.
Mhm.
Such a good job.
Maybe that's why she's been introing Club Venus this whole time, getting ready for this.
Hey, I mean, practice makes perfect.
It's true. I sucked when I started ring announcing. I can tell you that for 100% sure.
Gotta take the Mina Shirakawa
Yeah, woot the woot.
route.
Love the woot,
Route.
dude. The back foot,
English
like
is hard. We've already discussed
yeah,
this.
English is hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the
A
back and
little
forth
suspect.
shoulder where they're running back and forth and into each other, like going off the rope and hitting each other with the.
Yeah.
We just saw that live in person recently, and then they do this. I was like, yes, I, lo- I
Yeah.
loved it. And just this match was so much about who can beat the other one up
Mm-hmm.
better. Is really what this was about, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
agree. I
I
agree.
finally know what the move, like the KOD that Bianca Belair does, the Himeka does the KOD, the Sito KOD. I finally know what the move is called in her final match. It's the JP coaster. That's the English name for it. The Jumbo Princess coaster, like a roller
Oh, okay. I
coaster.
was like, JP. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. But it was just like, and Thekla at ringside just hammering on
Mm-hmm.
that ring, just like let's go. She was doing it for like a good few minutes straight, just hammering. Like her wrists are gonna be like and hands are gonna be fucking sore later. But yeah,
Oh.
there's a great spot where they're just trading lariats and just smashing the crap out of each other, coming back, and then Maika hits this huge lariat, dropping Himeka. But then Himeka stands back up, hits a spinning lariat, just knocking Maika down. They both just like lay there for a second and just like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maika gets and Chris Charlton calls it the Rainmaker, but Himeka gets right back up, hits a backdrop suplex for two. Like, dude, these girls just beat the holy hell out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Maika going for that Michinoku driver, can't get the pin, so she applies the rear naked choke to Himeka with like the arm trapped in it too, and
Mm-hmm.
like the face on Himeka was just looking like her eye. She had her eyes like bulging out and just like she was
Mm-hmm.
forcing her face to turn red. So good. I was like, is
Mm-hmm.
she actually choking her right now? Is what I
I
was
mean,
thinking. Like
probably.
she did a great job there. Um, the jumbo knee right to the jaw of Micah, just and just her head just when she hit that knee, when Micah or Hemmick hit the knee, Micah's head just goes bang, snapping back. Like
Mm-hmm.
it looks so good. Hits a lariat to the back in the corner. Hits. She had already hit a running power bomb earlier, but hits another running power bomb. But like this is the second time Micah kicks out at 2.9. It was just like holy shit. Maika ends up catching Himeka with a Michinoku driver. Then she hits a second one, and then Chris Charlton is saying that she's pleading with Himeka to please kick out so we can keep this going. Like she doesn't want this team to end, and she
Mm-hmm.
hits a final Michinoku driver, gets the win.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, this match was good.
Yes, yes. Very emotional. The package that they showed before nearly got my hormonal freaking self. Um, but yeah, the shoulder checking in the ring was a great spot. But then they also took it to the outside, continued all the checking,
Mm.
continued all the kind of flutzing about out there. Um, looked like Himeka was like going to go for that run down the ramp against Micah. Got caught and turned it into a suplex on the outside there. That superplex that Micah caught on Himeka, though, holy shit. Himeka got some good bounce on that. That was crazy.
Mm. Well,
After.
it was a delay. She held her up there
Mm-hmm,
for a good like 10 seconds, like standing on the second rope, and then hits that superplex.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very, very big superplex there. Yeah, both women obviously and understandably emotional after this match. They got me. They always
Mm-hmm.
get me when they start crying. I start crying, and you could tell my Himeka was crying before the match even ended. You could see it on her face. It was so nice. What a way to end her career.
100%. And like we're gonna see her one more time in May. I think they said May 14th is the retirement ceremony.
Mhm,
I don't know if it's part of a show or if it's just going to be its own thing. As
mhm,
they tend to do that, but I really hope they put that on Stardom World because I'd really like to see that and read all the see the all the translations and what people say about her and like if it's
mhm.
going to be something where other people talk. I would love if she gives a speech. I'd love to see that.
We
But
shall see.
she's pretty brief in what she saw in her talking after the match. She says she thanks she thanks Micah for being there for her career. She thanks the fans, and it wasn't a very long speech. Like
No.
again, she's got her retirement speech coming up in a month, so or less than a month.
Mhm,
So not she didn't really do. And then her and Micah end up walking out hand in hand, like arm in arm. I loved it. Like this,
mhm.
it was like a perfect way for them to leave together. It's that
100%.
like it just made so much sense in my opinion.
Mhm. 100%.
We're gonna move on. Goddess of Stardom Championship. 7 Up. You and Nane Takahashi defending the titles against the new eras, Mirai and Ami Saray. Both Ami and Mirai look amazing in their new gear, white and
Mhm.
green and white and blue respectively. Like really good.
The textures were the same too. They had that kind of dragon scale accenting on both of them, as well as a
Mm.
furry something somewhere on them.
That sounds wrong, but okay.
It's an observation. I'm not saying where the fur was. You can look for yourself.
Yeah.
Ami also coming in with new hair, looking like Hanan. Got
Mm-hmm.
that nice kind of blonde, dark, kind of curly look going on. I did not recognize her. I really like it on her though.
Yeah, they both look really good with the gear, the new
Hmm.
look, everything. Um, One thing about Chris Charlton mentioned, so 20 years ago is the last time They had a women's wrestling had a show this big, and it was at Yokohama Arena. Nane Takahashi was on that show 20 years ago.
That's incredible. It speaks to how good she is because she can still wrestle really, really good.
Yeah, she's absolutely phenomenal. The new era is Attack 7 Up. Mirai takes Nane to the floor, and Ami just starts unloading the chops on you, but you just like stand there and like does like a pose. I'm just like, holy shit, it's great. And then Mirai joins in, and they're doing the double chops, and then
Hmm.
you was just like, nah, and then like takes them down. You splat ends up getting a running splash on, or as they run at her, she hits like a doubles cross to them. It was really good.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like this match was. I thought this. I haven't mentioned to you that I loved 99% of this show.
Hmm.
This match is where that 1% came out for me, and it's not the match itself. There's a part there's
It's the end, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like Nane,
Oh.
there's a great spot where Nane's getting the chops on Ami and then starts tossing her by her hair, which Nane is known to do. But
Hmm.
then Ami gets Nane by the hair and tosses her by the hair, and I'm just like, yeah. And she ends up getting the lariats in the corner, but Nane is just like, I'm fighting back through and just taking the lariats. But then they each block suplex, but Ani then gets the big suplex on Nane. But again, I loved like Nane coming out of the corner, just like, no, like, you're not taking me down kind of
Hmm.
thing from the lariats. And it was really good. Nane gets just like vicious German on Mirai, but then Mirai gets back up and hits like as Nane goes to the corner, but Nane's like goading her almost.
Mm.
Like, come on. And Mirai gets up and runs, hits his lariat in the corner. But I love that she hits this German, then goes to the corner and just goads her. I'm like, that's some like just some balls right there to be like, I'm gonna hit you once and then goad you and sit in the corner and goad you. And it was just like interesting. Yeah. So the end of this is well, there's a it's I really was kind of annoyed here.
Hmm.
So they end up all fighting to the floor, and they're all brawling, and the ref is counting, and they're getting towards the end. And then Abi and Mirai get back in. And I know in Japan, you can win a title by counting. It's happened. I've seen it happen before.
Mm.
And you kind of gets up onto the apron, but they stop her from getting back in, and they get the win.
Hmm.
But then Chris Charlton is saying that you got her foot under the rope, and they may contest this, and it was just like that ending. I think this match was so good, but that ending, I think, really kind of soured the end of the match for me.
I
Like
agree.
if they had just taken them out, both slid in at 19, and the ref said 20, and it was it, and they were
Hmm.
like you and Nani were both on the floor. I think that the ending wouldn't have bothered me as much. It's just with you on the apron, and then with I don't know if it's actually the story, but again, you're influenced by commentary,
Hmm.
right? And you could see you kind of slide her leg under the ring, but she ends up getting kicked out, like under the rope back in, and it's just this. And again, it seemed very convoluted as a finish with them trying to take you off the apron. Uh, Again, if they would have just fought to the floor and in 19 they both slid in, and the ref count 20, I think just would have been a cleaner finish.
I agree. I agree. I was not very happy with that finish. And again, I did know that the countouts could be a way that they could change the titles. On the other hand, though, it still kind of makes Nane and you look like a super strong, indomitable force because they were never actually pinned or submitted to lose their titles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that being said, I really do love Nane's energy. At first, it was kind of like a little odd to me, but now I appreciate the genuine happiness and just energy and positive energy that she brings when she comes in there, despite overwhelmingly working as a heel. It's a very confusing dynamic, but I dig it. It works for her. Um, when she turns up that savagery in that ring, though, she gets hella mean. And I feel like her target in this was definitely Ami. The hair exchange was something I also noted, but also throughout their second and third bouts kind of together in the ring later. And Nane was essentially especially vicious with Ami, and I felt that when she was going up for that suplex that you had mentioned, that Nane kind of sack of bricks her. Ami had to work really, really, really hard to get Nani up there, and even then, she barely got her up there. So yeah, this was an interesting one. And again, you and Nani, you know, just beating the heck out of Mirai after the match, and Mirai just sitting there smiling about it. I'm like trying to figure out if Mirai is maybe on the right faction. She seems to have a little bit more of a sadistic side for being such a quiet little girl. I'm maybe thinking that she would have a better place in prominence than in God's eye.
Or like an Oedo tie or something where it's just like kind of fucked up in the head.
Well, like she's still good. Like she has a sense of honor when she wrestles, but like she's literally like Suzu Suzuki. She'll get drop kicked in the face and be like, "Haha, do it again." Like it's kind of scary.
The way you said "do it again," I was just like, "What the?" Oh, that was so good.
You
Oh,
need
that
a
was.
nap, sir. We've got a few more matches to get through.
I thought it was funny. I legit thought that was funny. Just the way you said it was great. But yeah, I thought a great match until the finish.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we move on to and then the picture. There are the girls. Brand new
See, there's
tag.
the furries.
Brand new goddess champions. There we go. So we are now in the Artist of Stardom Championship match. It's Prominence's Risa Seira, Suzu Suzuki, and Kurumi Haragi, the champions, defending against Restart's Kairi. Kairi. Gotta learn to talk better. Natsupoi and Sayori Anu. I can't remember if it's Sunny or Chris said 6 years, 3 months since Anu has been in a Stardom ring.
That was Chris.
Oh, it's Chris, yeah.
I remember that. That was Chris. I'm pretty sure it was Chris.
Yeah. And I guess her and Natsupoi have history from outside of the promotion. Same with her and Kairi. Her and Kairi have history from when Anu worked there before, and she has history for after she left Stardom with Natsupoi before Natsupoi joined Stardom in like 2019 or 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she has history from wrestling with her outside the promotion. She has history with Kairi from the time she spent with her in the promotion before Kairi left. So, yeah, I was very interested by that. Prominence ends up attacking Restart with the belts, and they end up brawling to the floor. Kairi's tossed into chairs. Nat gets like scoop slammed on the floor. They get back in the ring. Kairi ends up hitting Risa Seira ends up hitting Kairi with the kendo stick. Like I was like, and the ref was kind of there, but he wasn't. He was like intentionally trying not to pay attention. It was just like, okay, I didn't know this was a hardcore match, but okay, but I guess it's not because yeah.
I mean, what Prominence is, they're bound to do something hardcore-ish at some point. And let's be honest, if someone's going to do something hardcore of these three, you want Risa Seira to be doing it because at least you know it's a stick.
Yeah.
With Suzu Suzuki, it could literally be any kind of stabby thing.
A bat with glass sticking out. That'd be Suzuki style. It's Suzuki. Right? It's literally Suzuki style.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. So who better than and honestly more controlled to do it than Risa Seira?
I gotta give a real big shout out to Chris Charlton when he was talking about Suzuki and how vicious she is, and he literally goes talking about vicious, and she's just like her namesakes, Minoru Suzuki. I'm like, yes! I was like, yes, we got a Minoru Suzuki reference, yay!
He's saying it.
Yeah. Natsupoi gets like the drop kick in the ropes twice, but she ends up missing the cross body off the top, and Suzuki spears her out of her shoes.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Yeah. Dude, I'm pretty sure Kyrie hit a Destino in this match. Or
She almost did. I know the spot you're thinking about. That was when Karumi had her, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
was
she's
almost a Destino,
no,
but not quite.
no, it was Teresa Sarah because she ends up stepping like pushes off of Suzuki and flips back into it, or maybe it was like an Acai DDT. Maybe I'm not
I
sure.
think we're just thinking about the wrong spot entirely because I'm thinking about Hiragi and Kairi, and it was Kurumi who actually ended up, or sorry, Hiragi who actually ended up doing the move, but it looked like Kairi was actually going to go into a Destino, but then Hiragi reversed where she was going and ended up putting her in a
Okay, yeah,
Cylock
I
slam.
think we're sitting out on different spots because
Yeah,
yeah, this is
we
one where like
definitely are.
Kyrie's got Sarah, or I got Sarah, and she flips off of Suzuki, and it comes down like inverted DDT Destino style.
Oh, I
Like I
don't
swear to
recall.
Christ, she hit a Destino there. But yeah,
Kevin would
again,
have dropped down from the rafters and called it, my friend.
well, Chris
Just
has a
like
pretty good
Gino does with the Doki Choki.
Chris has a pretty good Destino though. I've heard him because I remember hearing him call a show without Kevin, and he went Destino. I'm like, he did pretty good. So, but again,
Mm.
yeah, dude, the super ultra mega tower of doom.
Oh, the
That's
double
what
knee
I'm.
drop.
No, like where it's the super mega tower that they did, where it's
Yes,
Aragi on the
Caesar and Risa, yeah.
Caesar and Risa, and like Kyrie's at the top, and then Natch just like runs, pulls the leg of Haragi, who brings the entire pile down, hurting her own partner the worst. But then Chris Charlton was saying that Kyrie was screaming to get her down, so technically Nat did what she was told.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, I mean, other than Kyrie, smallest person in this match would be Nancy Poi. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to make things work. If that's got to be pull the switch that is Hiragi's foot, it is pull the switch that is Hiragi's foot.
Yeah. Dude, Kyrie gets the anchor on to I can't remember who she had it on, but Suzu Suzuki takes her and just smashes her
Oh,
face first.
Sarah. It was Risa
Yeah,
Sarah.
yeah, and Suzu grabs her head and just wham right into the mat, like just like head
Oh,
off the
yeah.
mat.
She did not get her hands up in time for that at all. She ate all of that.
Yeah, oh fuck, this match was so good.
Mm.
Suzu ends up going to the top, and Nat stops her, and Anu hits a Frankensteiner off the top, and
Mm.
then Nat and Kyrie hit the cartwheel bomb like together. I was like, yeah, it was like I love the double team version.
Mm.
And Anu gets a bridging German suplex, but Risa Sarah breaks it up by smacking her in the gut with a kendo stick. Like, where was the DQ there? Like, I'm just like, but if you actually look at the ref at the time, like I don't know, like he was literally counting the pin. How do you not see that?
Maybe there's something in the prominence contracts where they're allowed a free kendo stick swing per match. I don't know. There's
They
a
got two.
kendo clause.
They got two. But yeah, dude, and then but Kyrie ends up hitting the cutlass on Teresa Sarah. Natsupoi and Kyrie double dropkick Haragi out. Um, yeah, it just and then Anu hits this German suplex, but Suzuki then hits a German suplex and a spin kick, but Anu hits the German, and then Souza comes back, hits a tequila shot, but can only get 2 point. Gets like she's like Anu kicks out to like 2.9,
Mm.
and then Suzuki goes for that rolling chaos theory, that German into another, and then rolls into another German, but gets stopped on the second one. And Anu gets a backslide and flips over into like a stack cover and gets the win.
Yeah, and she was standing on the calves. of Suzuki also preventing her from kicking out.
Hmm.
Um, Suzu incensed at the end
Yeah,
of this. Just livid. You got an angry Suzuki on your guys' hands now. That's no bueno for anybody. Let's
yeah,
hope that for the sake of that locker room, that maybe Prominence is going to shimmer or ice ribbon for a little bit to cool
yeah.
down. Because man, if they get their hands on these girls again, yowza.
They're gonna beat the living holy hell out of them. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's your new champions, Kairi, Sirianu, and Natsupoi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, I really didn't think this was gonna change.
I didn't either. I'm not mad about it. Like
Oh, me
the
either.
match itself proved that they deserve to hold some kind of championship for sure. I just, I'm a fan of Prominence, so I just wanted them to hold on to the titles for a little bit longer.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to the match, but was my favorite match of the night because I called it
Mm-hmm.
right. Because I believed since the beginning. Wonder of Stardom. I'm trying to tranquilo. That's why I went. Trying to tranquilo, so I'm not too coming up too excited. Wonder of Stardom Championship. Saya Kamitani versus Mina Shirakawa. 17 minutes and 56 seconds worth of almost perfection of professional wrestling.
Mm.
I'm This match was absolutely phenomenal. Mina entering on the stage, doing the dance. As she makes her way down to the ring, the four of the other five members of Club Venus come to enjoying her, and they all walk down together. Um, Mina, brand new robe tonight, brand new gear, looking just straight up fly. They get onto the apron and I'll do the pose. And Waka looks awkward as fuck.
Really?
Well, it's just like all the other girls are like naturally posing. She's just like,
That's Waka. That's
but
part of her charm.
but I love it. But her looking awkward as fuck was the best thing about it. It's just like it just makes so much sense because she's only joined this team like a week prior, so she's not ready for like. She's got to learn how to be sexy, I guess. Because again, the other girls like it's Club Venus has a very big sex appeal. If you know what I mean, they're all got the beauty and they have the poses. Waka has never been really done that because again she avoided the dances with Cosmic Angels, so she's got to get used to like how like she did it, but it's just she almost looked awkward doing it.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that Ryan made it apparent to Momokogo that the requirements were also boobies.
That too.
No, yeah. Waka looked great. I thought, like, picturesque speaking, she looked great next to
Oh
them. Yeah, the pose is a little weird, but she was
no,
doing that pose with Cosmic Angels too. It looked weird then, and she's so over with it because of it.
yeah,
So
I
I
love it.
definitely feel it added.
I love it, but again, it just makes her stand out more. It makes me like her that much more. The fact that it
Mm-hmm.
does look awkward comparatively, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Maika, it shows Maika, she's on Japanese commentary. And then Mariah May ends up going back to the commentary table after the entrance. Um, dude, Mina worked the knee of Saya throughout this match. Like that's because
Mm-hmm.
the figure four is one of her big weapons. And there's a point where she gets the figure four around the post, and Chris Charlton makes the Bret Hart reference. I'm like, yes, because Bret Hart was pretty famous for doing the figure four around the ropes in the '90s or around the
Oh.
post. So he said she's been studying her Bret Hart tapes. I was just like, yeah, I
Sweet.
like it. I was like, perfect. We got a Bret Hart reference on this show. It's like, yes. Who would expect a Bret Hart reference on a Stardom show? But yeah, these two. Saya Kamitani, just her like like her fight from peril, like having to overcome this knee in this match was absolutely tremendous. This is honestly my favorite Saya Kamitani match. And again, yeah, part of it is who she's facing, but I've watched so many of her matches and it's like she's good, but I've never really felt that sense of like urgency from her, or like where this is like she could like when she's selling the knee and I'm like I really got into her struggle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think she does. Mina gets like it tribute to Cody Rhodes, hits a disaster kick off the ropes to springboard into the kick to the face. I was just like, yes. But then Saya comes right back with a spin kick to the head. But Nina ends up drop kicking the knee. She's like, nah, screw it, and drop kicks the knee. And I guess it was at this point, Saya would try to fight back, and then Mina would stomp the knee. And then Saya would try to fight back of it. Then Mina would stomp the knee. I was like, perfect. Like, you don't see that enough. You've been working on this knee. If they're fighting back, just kick them in the part that hurts. It was. I really did like the way she did it. Saya hits the Star Crusher. Oh, before that, sorry. So Saya goes for the schoolboy suplex, where it's like a schoolboy thing, and she tries to lift you up into like a suplex. But Saya can't, and she ends up hitting a wheel kick. She then hits a bridging fisherman suplex, gets a 2, then turns the pin, picks her up, and Kamigoyes her in the face. And Chris Charlton said that was very Kamigoye like. I was like, because it was a goddamn Kamigoye, dude. So Saya hits the Star Crusher. She goes up for the Phoenix Splash, but she can't do it. Like, she's still like, because again, the last time she did it, she broke Mina's jaw, and she has felt scared to do the move ever since. She'll do the 450, but that's just like straight front flip. The Phoenix has a twist, if you don't know. But yeah, she can't do it. Mina drop kicks the knee. Saya, like, and just and just Mina takes over, and she brings her down the mat. She gets the figure 4, but Saya and just gets to the rope like within seconds. Like, it was really fast. I was like, okay, interesting. Multiple strikes, spinning back fist, and the backdrop driver by Mina. And she puts her up onto the top rope, hits a green killer from the top. Like, shout out to Kenta right there. The absolutely brutal DDT. Then hits her implant DDT, but still can only get 2. Saya reverses the Mina's finisher, the Glorious Driver Mina. And Chris calls it the inverted Bloody Sunday, but he's wrong. And hits a backbreaker. But when she does it, she has to grab her knee, and she's just like selling it. Like, I can't praise enough the sell. Like, when she was going for her springboards and shit, she wasn't selling the knee enough. But when every time she did a certain move, she sold that knee, and she did it well. But yeah, huge bicycle kick by Saya Kamitani, and gets that backdrop bridging suplex, but only gets 2. Dude, this match was crazy. Like, Star Crusher by Saya Kamitani only gets 2. So Saya decides to go up to the top, and she does the Phoenix Splash. She lands on the legs of Mina too. So I think she did intentionally kind of to shoot to the one side. But Mina kicks out at like that 2.9. She kicks out, and I'm just like, oh, thank freaking Christ! I was like, don't. I was so scared they were gonna end it with the Phoenix Splash right there. I was like, oh, thank Christ, no. But dude, just go back and forth. It just beating the shit. Each trying to go for big moves. Mina ends up catching a boot at one point, hits the dragon screw to the knee, gets a figure 4, and they go to. She gets like Saya's just about there, and Mina rolls it back to the center, and I'm just like, are they gonna end it on a submission? But Saya gets the ropes. Mina hits the glamorous driver. Mina. Saya kicks out, so Mina hits a second one, and gets the win. Your new Wonder of Stardom champion, my girl, Mina Shirakawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely tremendous match.
It was very, very good. Yeah.
Sorry, I love this match.
No, I told you before that I was going to give you the stage for that one. I knew you were going to take it anyway, regardless. So I was just planning. I took 3 notes. You got them all, and I just enjoyed the match.
Yeah, I thought absolutely tremendous. Like, you want to speak on it, I guess? I'm going to let you speak for a minute.
You were going to regardless, so I gave you the permission.
Yeah, but yeah, May on commentary when Mina wins screams out in joy. I love that she like just like yeah, you see her like celebrating and then runs to ringside to join her team. I absolutely loved it. Mina and Saya kind of talking to each other on the mat. Mina gets up. Ogawa presents her the title and the trophy. She's crying. Saya gets to her knees and puts the belt around Mina's waist. They shake hands, and then Mina leaves with Club Venus. Just like a kind of a beautiful moment. And Himeka walks out and like gives her a big old hug. I'm like, yeah, I love that.
Very sweet ending.
Yeah. So we move on. It's Syuri versus Chihiro Hashimoto. Do you want this one? Because I know you're a huge Syuri fan. I'm gonna let you if you.
I mean, I didn't take a whole lot of notes for moves because for a while there really wasn't any.
Yeah.
These two ladies just kind of came in like bottled lightning. They just kicked the holy hecking crap out of each other. They were just hitting each other, kicking each other, tossing each other. Chihiro, very good at that. The only other person I've seen do it is Minoru Suzuki. That drop down to the knee, swing around to whatever side of the person you're going to. She's so lightning quick with those that even Syuri, who's lightning quick in her own right, can't keep up with her when she's kind of floating around her like that. The strikes were just unreal. The power flex that freaking Chihiro was just throwing in Suri's face. Like, Suri's is a very strong woman, but I feel that a lot of her strength comes from her strike ability. Whereas Chihiro was very much a powerhouse. She was tossing Suri around, locking her up. It was crazy how deceptively quick Chihiro is. But Suri striking freaking hard. I mean, she was not pulling on those strikes, not pulling on those kicks. She rarely does. You can hear the thuds off of those things. Suri able to drop Hashimoto with a buzzsaw kick, and Hashimoto actually not able to make it back to her feet. She literally, I thought she was going to, because at 9, it almost looked she was climbing the ropes. Like her legs weren't working, but her arms were. But unfortunately, she was unable to make it to her feet by the count of the ref, and she loses her long awaited match that she's been waiting on a hot minute with Suri. But Suri inviting her to maybe stick around. Andre, what do you think of this one?
I thought this was like just vicious as fuck. Like these two beat like this is strong style if you're ever gonna see it. You were saying something about how you said Minoru gets down and sweeps around. I've noticed that with a lot of wrestlers that have an amateur background and or a shoot fighting background, like Tom Lawler. I've seen Tom Lawler do it. I've seen Kurt Angle was Colonel Angle would like kind of sweep down and would go around people sometimes. It's a very much. I think it's more due to like trying to sweep around in actual like amateur style wrestling is what that is. And I think
more of a
I think
Charlie Haas or Gable.
yeah. So that's more of an influence on that. I think what that is from personally is you're saying like Minoru who has a shoot fighting background and he is a trained amateur wrestler and so is she because she wrestled for the national team when she was in college. Yeah.
Yano also has that amateur background. Every so often he will pull that out.
Yeah, it's that technical style, and it's you see that a lot in the amateur. People have amateur style there, but dude, they just killed each other in this. Like absolutely, dude. When she headbutted her at the end,
why though?
Oh my Christ! I'm like, do you want to end up like Shibata? Like have to take multiple years off and have brain surgery and like holy shit. I was like, why are you doing that? Like, oh.
That was a poor choice for sure.
Yeah, that buzzsaw kick at the end. Well, she hit was it the Shushikai, which is the one-winged angel to the side.
Cachet is what I heard.
Oh, Shushikase. Okay. Oh, Shushika.
That's what I heard, mind you. I only watched it once, so I don't know if I was right.
I'm gonna go with you, Shushikase. That side one-winged angel. So I finally don't have to call it the side one-winged angel anymore. I can actually call it by its name. But yeah, absolutely tremendous, man. Like, dude, these two just
brawled.
They really did. Yeah, after the match, she does invite Chihiro to stick around. Like,
stick around and find out. That's essentially the Japanese version of F around and find out.
Yeah. But I thought great match. Just two
100%.
big hosses fighting, I guess. But they're not that, but like, Syuri's not that big, but she fights like a big hoss.
Yeah. You wouldn't know it if you were blindfolded and taking shots.
Yeah. You'd think she's gigantic. Move on to the semi-main event of the evening. It is the IWGP Women's Championship. The first time it's being defended in Stardom. Well, I guess it was won. The original title was won on the Stardom crossover show, but yeah, the first time it's been defended. The first time it's been defended in Stardom. Mayu coming out. They say she's coming out to her championship theme that she uses for championship matches. I really actually really liked the music.
I did too. I liked it better than her regular music, actually.
And with Chris Charlton telling her story, saying like wrestling saved her life, and like she was literally staying in her house for 3 years straight, like barely left her house. It's a true story. If you do want to know Mayu Iwatani's story, and you don't want to have to watch a Japanese movie that comes out later this year, which is going to be, you have to watch a subtitled. Check out a show called The Wrestlers. I think it's episode 3. Whichever episode's all about Stardom, they tell Mayu Iwatani's story in it, and it's absolutely like heartbreaking what this girl was and how hard, and then her having to like overcome all the issues. I love her. I love that episode. I highly recommend it. It's on Tubi. The series is on Tubi for you can watch it for free. I absolutely recommend it. And they actually have a young Azumi on the show too. She's like 13, and yeah, absolutely tremendous story this girl has. And this match was absolutely tremendous. Monet here. I read something that you know who Mojo Rawley is? Yeah, he was there.
Oh,
like
I'm surprised we didn't hear him.
Yeah, he was there. It like came to. He was there with
the guy.
Yeah, he was there with Monet to like support her while in her big match. Because I know Naomi's been over there for a couple of her matches. Bailey was there for a match. So like, Bailey was there when she debuted at Wrestle Kingdom. So like, again, she has some great friends who showed up. I found out because she said it after that Monet, her gear, like the mask she was wearing, was actually inspired by the Eddie Guerrero Black Tiger gear that he used to wear back in Japan. I love it because she's always given a tribute to Eddie Guerrero in a lot of her big matches. So the fact that she tributed his Japanese time, I was like, absolutely tremendous. Because
as soon as I saw that gear, I was like, that's Eddie.
Yeah, and Chris Charlton was actually saying he thought it was a shout out to Mayu's trainer, and that's where Mayu gets her mask from, is her trainer, and that's what she thought she was mocking it. He thought that's what he was saying, but then no, it's Eddie Guerrero. She said it afterwards that it was an Eddie Guerrero tribute. So absolutely phenomenal.
I'm not the only one that she did.
Yeah. Oh, with the frog splash.
And she also did the Three Amigos.
She did the Three Amigos too. Yeah. Fat hematoma on the forehead of Monet from the press conference, getting smashed in the face there. Dude,
that's what happens when you get smashed in the face.
Yeah, very much so. Really fun. I thought a really good match here. I think. I don't know if it's as good as the 3-way from Sakura Genesis, but to me, it's better than the Kairi match. Like, again, not that the Kairi match is bad. I just think this was better than the Kairi match, but I have to rewatch the 3-way to know if this was better than it, because it was a really good match. It's just the three-way was so perfection out of the three of them that, and Monet messed up her finisher again. She didn't get the knee in there. She kind of spun her out, but just slammed her down into the mat. And I was just like, okay, so is that actually? I was like, so you messed it up again?
I mean, who knows what she was trying to go for at that moment? Did she call it? Are you thinking about when she?
Well, she had her on the back and then spun her off, but then just didn't, like, she's supposed to turn it into the DDT, right? But she just spun her off and let her face plant into the mat.
Oh yeah, I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like she didn't really even get the moneymaker there. It was like, okay,
She
and
got
then
what she could with the momentum she had.
and then Chris Charlton says her hair is a shout out to Darth Maul. I was like, okay, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But yeah, these two really.
Shout-outs in that outfit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. These two had a really good back and forth. Mayu with the dive, with just a crazy suicide dive early, just reckless. Again, this girl is reckless as shit, and I don't think she'll ever stop being that. But yeah, these again, Mayu hitting that crucifix bomb, like I loved it. These two had an absolutely tremendous match. Mayu getting the tombstone pile driver, and then she's gonna go up to the top. Monet's just like, no, and she's like holding onto the foot. I was just like, it's a good way to like keep somebody from going and hitting another high impact move onto you. But yeah, in the end though, the Doomsday bridging dragon suplex by Mayu Iwatani, and she gets the win. We have a new IWGP Women's Champion, Mayu Iwatani. I really didn't think this. Like, I really wasn't sure on this one.
I
But
think we were both very unsure on this one. I think we kind of both said if Mercedes retains, it'd be obvious that she's sticking around. If Mayu wins, we might be losing Mercedes. That being said, the post match remarks, Mercedes did kind of insinuate that she's not going to be around a lot, but she's not really going anywhere either. Internet would suggest she's got some other things kind of going on top of this, so maybe wrestling with Stardom would be a Brock Lesnar thing, a summertime. She'll catch us some of the time, kind of deal. And I'd be okay with that. It's still attention. It's still, she's still probably going to bring attention to the product, even if she's not there. So I have no problem with it. I think she's going to be great.
yeah, I think it would. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's just what will she do next? But thing is, I know what she's doing next. It was announced today what she's doing next. I'm gonna pull that up here.
Well, I've been filming makeup tutorials, sir. Let the rest of us in.
Yeah, so right here, she's gonna be at Resurgence in here in New Japan of North America. I don't know. You said you weren't sure what she's doing next. I am. She's gonna be at Resurgence.
Awesome.
So she's gonna be at the show in the States. I don't know where it's at. California, Long Beach.
It says.
Long Beach, California. I had to like look in to really see it. My eyes aren't that great.
Could this be the time where we finally see her team up with Okada, as she had mentioned?
Yes, please.
A mixed tag match there. Who could Okada be facing though? Who is he feuding with right now?
He's kind of in the tag world now. So that's the weird
but that
point.
being said, who could he tag with to take on Monet?
Well, him and Monet
who could face Okada to take on Monet?
Goto and Mayu Iwatani. There you go. I would love that.
It would be interesting to see the winners of the last intergender kind of showdown between the Aces and the Samurais. Maybe Utami Hayashishita.
Ooh. Oh, or Natsupoi and Desperado.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I'd be down for Natsupoi and Desperado.
Maybe Tam and Tai Chi.
I want Nat and Despy.
Mm.
That's a personal preference though.
Hey, I mean, maybe we'll get Starlight Kid in there too.
It's very
Don't always have to
possible.
have all the good girls. We can throw some of the bad girls in there too.
Yeah, but Mayu Iwatani is presented the title by Rossi Ogawa and the
Mm-hmm.
trophy. Mayu gets on the mic. She says, "Good evening, Monet. I know you're hurting, but I want you back in the ring." She's got something to say. She does make a comment. We might have to kill a little bit of time waiting for her because she went to the back ready to get ice for the hematoma, I guess. Monet comes back out. Maya says, "You really drive me crazy, but thank you. I know you came to love Japan and this title, and I want to carry that on as the champion." She says, "Thank you." Monet gets the mic and she says, "Thank you to the crowd. I love being your CEO of Stardom. And Maya, you showed me you are the real icon of Stardom." She says, "Take care of that title and show all the girls around the world why you are the icon." They end up hugging, and Monet raises her hand. They bow to each other, and yeah, again, just beautiful moment. I thought great moment at the end there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. Anything else in this one?
No, no, nothing.
Alrighty then. We are going to move on to the main event of the evening. It's the World of Stardom Championship match. Giulia Tam Nakano, and this match was absolutely phenomenal. If it wasn't for just my love of Mina Shirakawa, this probably would have taken match tonight. But like, now I'm taking away from anything for that Saya and Mina did because they had an absolute tremendous match. But
Mm-hmm.
these two had a tremendous match too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tam Nakano coming out dressed like a goddamn cosmic angel.
She literally was wings and everything. I love that gear. She even had like a very Sailor Moon looking staff that she had with her. Actually, sorry, it was more like a pole arm because it definitely looked like it
Mhm.
had a blade
Yeah, it was a pole
on
arm.
the end there. I sent actually a picture of her entrance to Yvonne, who also was like, "Oh my God, that's
Mhm.
going in a book." Gotta love inspiring your author friends.
Yeah.
And Julia also coming in with a new gear and an interesting, fun little crown there to go along with that jacket.
It,
Really like that.
so I kind of looked at it almost like the angel versus kind of a demon in a sense because it looked like the crown looked like and the red stuff is coming out almost looked like fire in a sense, almost like a fire crown.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Julia to put something like that, and then Tom Nakano going above and beyond to look like an angel. Yeah, I wouldn't put
Yeah,
either of these women past that because they're both so creative.
yeah, and the gear for the new gear for Julia looks absolutely tremendous. It's like
Hmm.
white with red and gold and silver accents,
And
and this
fur.
fur, and then a furry thing on her ass. A little disappointing there, but that's just me being a guy. But yeah, absolutely tremendous. Like both look awesome with their new gear.
Hmm.
There's a spot where it's right around the start. Uh, Julia snapmares Tam over, but Tam just kind of rises up and then snapmares Julia over. I was like, yeah, I love it. These two absolutely did just crazy shit. Julia hits a Northern Lights bomb really early, but Tam ends up rolling to the floor to
Hmm.
kind of escape to not get pinned super early. So they get on the other side, and I have to say this: Julia got the tables.
She did, and man, let me tell you, those tables, they were really concerning to me. As soon as she set that up, I'm like, whoever's going through that, please go through the middle. They did not go through the middle. Tam ended up, her butt went through the middle, and it
Yeah,
perfectly broke the table in half. But her upper body, in particular, her like almost her traps, landed on the table leg essentially, and it looked like such a rough and like landing. But Tam, bless her heart, up immediately, and that was when they started battling up the ramp, I believe.
yeah. So she got snapmared off the top rope through this table on the
Mm-hmm.
floor. Then Julia ends up falling and landing on like a corner of the table, like this
Mhm.
prop now sitting up like this. Like
Mhm.
Giulia fell off and landed on it, and just like you see it roll over and just go, and somebody like checks on her, and it's just
Mhm.
like it looked like, ow, what the? So they both just took bad spots off the table.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that seems to be something that Julia does, because you remember Maya Wikihi did the same
Hee hee
thing.
hoo. Yeah. Hee hee hoo. But
Wikihi.
yeah. Hee hee hoo. Julia, like they go up the ramp and she tries for a glorious driver, but Tam reverses, gets a DDT, or it reverses into a reverse DDT, and Tam ends up running up the ramp and hits her with like two running pump knees, and the
Mhm.
second one, Julia's just like rolling and rolling and rolling, and almost goes off the side of the ramp.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was quite funny.
Such an
Um,
entertainer.
yeah, dude, these two just smacking the crap out of each other. Like at one
Mhm.
point, they're like slap, then slap back, and then slap, and then slap back, and then just like wham, wham, wham. They just get into this like hard slap fight. It was just like holy
Mhm.
shit, like,
Yeah.
and then Julia punches Tam in the face and gets a warning from the ref. Like I was like, I was like, they're actually enforcing no closed fists. As wrestling, you're not supposed to punch somebody in the face.
No. Someone
Yeah,
needs to remind Rock Hard about that.
yeah. It's the left hand of God, man.
Still shouldn't be rock harding people's faces. They're just saying. Just the saying that sounds dirty.
Yeah. Julia tries for the Northern Lights bomb, but gets rolled up for two. Tam gets a super kick, tries a tiger driver, like a tiger bomb, tiger driver,
Mhm.
but Julia flips her over. But Tam ends up rolling through and gets a submission called the Northern Cross onto Julia. And I was just like, holy shit, I don't think I've ever seen Tam do it.
I don't recall it either.
Yeah, I really liked it because, like, yeah, the not Chris, the other guy,
Sunny.
Sonny. I was gonna say Sergio, but I knew that was wrong. He's the first time. Let's
Sergio. Jesus, that sounds like my Italian lover.
Yeah, Sergio Gutierrez. Makes so much sense.
I don't know who that is.
No, it's Sonny Gutierrez, but this guy. But I really liked it. I really, again, adding new pieces to your arsenal. I really do like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Dude, Julie ends up putting Tam on the top. Goes for a Northern Lights bomb off the top. I can't get it. Tries a butterfly suplex. Then Tam tries a sunset flip power bomb. Can't get it. Then Tam ends up coming back up. She tries a butterfly suplex, but like, and hits it, and both women are just like dead in the ring. Um, yeah, dude. The end of this though, Julia gets a tiger suplex, and Tam hits a Northern Lights bomb. So they each hit each other's moves, and then Tam hits the Twilight Dream for the second time in the match. But Julia kips out at that last possible millisecond.
Hmm.
So Tam picks her up, hits the Violet Screwdriver, and gets the goddamn win.
Hmm.
Like I
Hmm.
said it on the last show, I was saying the top G, the real top G, is keep winning this match, Julia. But holy shit! And we did talk about that. There's two stories. You could have had this like Julia having this dominating win, and Tam
Hmm.
like falling into despair even further. But this is just now the story of Tam rising from the ashes, of losing a bunch of members from her team, and now
Hmm.
coming back and rising up, taking the title, and then going to rise up and probably bring new members in now that they're people are going to want to be associated with the champ.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense that you would want to be rubbing elbows with the champ for sure.
Hmm. So yeah, I do I got like I love this match. I thought it was absolutely tremendous. I'll admit, slightly disappointed that my girl Julia did lose this match.
Hmm.
Again I'm a Julia homer for sure. But I thought absolutely tremendous main event. Like these two just did so much good in this match.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. This was a very fun match.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. I knew you were gonna get a lot in there because again, these are two of your favorites. I mean, I love Tam Nakano. I emulate her poses all the time, but Julia's your girl. I know your girls.
Yeah,
I'll let you talk about your girls.
yeah. So after the match, Tam gets the mic, says Giulia. She's been uglied up by Giulia. She calls her a monster. It's like, holy, you're kind of mean. Um,
I feel like that's a compliment between the two of them.
yeah, she said, I've finally taken this from you. You're the worst, biggest rival I've ever had, and every time we fought, I've put my life on the line to beat you. I'm sure I'll never be able to get past you. I'm like, holy shit. This is some like
Hmm.
dark, like they're never this battle will never end kind of shit. Giulia says, I wanted that belt to do what I needed to do, and you took it away today. But today was pretty fun. I was just like, okay, great, weird response. But she's like, I've seen enough of you now, enough of you for now. Uh, what you would have seen here tonight would have seen of Giulia and Tam and everything that means. Arrivederci forever. Yeah, I was like, I was like, I like that. And Tam says something about going away. So, like, does Giulia take a step back for a bit? Like, or is she just kind of going to move on and do some other stuff in the company for a while? Like,
I mean, I'm just saying, with Mercedes being in Japan, it would make sense that they would make a sensible trade off to have someone in the US representing Japan.
I would like
I
it.
personally think that Julia would be a great representation for that because her styling is so close. It's close enough to a North American style that I think she would be able to get over. But then her personality, she would absolutely be able to cut a promo in English, Italian, or Japanese. And then you also have other people within her faction that would be able to help her if she were to travel to English speaking countries like Japan,
Thekla. Yeah.
right? So
Oh,
like I don't know. I think that if that is the intention, I mean good for her. I mean we'll be able, maybe there would be an opportunity where we can actually see her wrestle live. That would be incredible.
yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see her come over here and represent Stardom. But
Mhm.
again,
Mhm.
absolutely tremendous match. Tam gets the mic one more time. She just talks about how she's going to be welcome to the new galaxy, and this is how she was in darkness, but has finally found a path forward, and we're all going to lead Stardom into a new world. And she said, "Join the cutest of the cosmos. Do we believe in Tam?" And she goes, "Believe in Tam." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." But again, it's all Chris Charlton translating, so again, it's hard to know
Mhm.
exactly. Like again, I think he does a good job, but it's like I kind of missed Stardom World for this and no subtitles. We didn't want to wait until
Mhm.
Wednesday or
Mhm.
Thursday to watch this show because we wanted to get this out to you as soon as
Mhm.
possible because this is a big show, and I think Stardom's biggest show so far of the company, in my opinion.
I mean, this year for sure, Queendom 2022 was a pretty big heckin' show for them also,
Mm-hmm.
and even though the historic crossover show was a crossover show, that was definitely a huge
Mm-hmm.
show for them because it certainly introduced the NJPW fans to the Stardom women if they didn't kind of know them already. Something I noted also in this match, that little armband that Tam had that was like attached to her little bicep thing and then her wrist. I
Mm-hmm.
was hella impressed that throughout the entire thing, all the stuff that they did to each other, all the moves that they did, all the dishevelment of the hair and the makeup and everything, that little piece of lace stayed intact from start to finish. It was stronger than Tam's lip, that's for sure in that match.
Yeah, Tam looked beat up after the match. That's for damn sure.
Mhm. But Tam is very much so like Mayu Iwatani in that she does have that reckless disregard for her personal safety, and that's starting to be something that a lot more starter wrestlers are kind of starting to be known for. Because Giulia kind of does the same thing. So yeah, what a show, man! What a
Absolutely
show.
tremendous. Yeah, and
Mhm.
I highly recommend if you're watching us and you haven't watched it yet,
Please do.
go to Stardom World because it's Wednesday when this is dropping. The show should be up on Stardom World. If it's not up there today on Wednesday, it should be up Thursday. Highly, highly, highly recommend this, and I'm really, really, really hoping that English commentary is there for a lot, so it gives it like I think like we have some friends that are interested in it, but haven't really got into it. I think this would be a great show for them
Mhm.
because they have a good English commentary base to give them a lot of good information. This is a good show to show a lot of your friends that aren't super into this. Show it to them. It's got great
Mhm.
English commentary.
Mhm. Mhm. 100%. 100%. We will leave the link to that wonderful website in the description box below. That is stardom-world.com.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. I really hope because I know Chris was saying something was funny that he's been trying to get English commentary on these shows for a while. I really hope we get more Sonny Gutierrez calling some bigger cards for this company on more occasions. I really do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. And hopefully Chris comes back too.
Mhm. So yeah, link in the description box below. Stardom-world.com. Price is about 999 yen or $10 Canadian. That's the perfect 10, like Sean Spears. We love Sean Spears here.
Hmm.
It's actually been less though. Andre, I got mine was 740 again this month, but we're not going to complain about that because that means inflation is deflating.
That is
We
a
want
100%. Yeah.
that. You want to go ahead and shout out our good friend Micah the Refa?
Yeah, you can. I want to thank our good buddy Mike the Ref. All the great support he has given us over the years. I should really put his info on the bottom there. Lots of great content coming from him. Check out twitch.tv/ Mike the Ref. He has all his great gaming content live on Twitch. And his every Wednesday he has his watch along for AEW Dynamite. So go and hang out in there. I try to hang out when I'm not working on Wednesday night, but I work most Wednesday nights. So I don't get to hang out in there much anymore. But yeah, go
Mhm.
check that out. And all the gaming content that he does on there gets simulcasted or rebroadcasted on YouTube. So highly recommend going and checking out those stuff from Mike the Ref. There's more stuff from PJC and from Rick Jules. So really, please go check out youtube.com/at backbreaker_gaming. And please check out youtube.com/at backbreaker video for a lot more great wrestling content and a lot like from our friends Cody and Astrid, with their making an impact is over there. Highly recommend it. And if you are watching us right now on youtube.com/backbreaker video, please check us out on youtube.com/Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. She's pointing at it right now, ladies and gentlemen, where you can please give us a like, a comment, subscribe. We absolutely, and we want to hear from you guys. We love hearing from you guys. And if you are watching us on Andre Melball Talk, go over to Backbreaker Video and Backbreaker Gaming. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. We really appreciate that too.
Mhm. Mhm. They do. They do. They'll follow you back.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, my friend, if the people are wanting to follow you on social media, where are they going to find you?
Twitter, Mastodon, Hive at that Canada guy, Instagram at that Canada dude, on Facebook at Andre Melba Wrestling Talk.
Awesome. And if you're wanting to find a Melball, you can find her on Twitter at Collins Melball. You can find her on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and what was the last one?
Mastodon.
Mastodon. I should know that. We just did the Power Ranger special. Mastodon at Melball Collins. Uh, left the more for downstairs. Gosh dang it. That being said, my friend, do you have. Oh, where can we find you anywhere else during the week, my friend, besides on your social media?
Coming up very soon, May 7th, I will be on OLE. I'll bring them their information up right here. I'll be on the OLE Twitch stream with our good friend Oed, and we're going to be talking Guardians of the Galaxy. We've already lined up one guest. We might have another. So please come check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking the brand new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the finale of the Guardians of the Galaxy as we know them now.
Oh, that sounds amazing, amazing. And if you're wanting to check out the Melball anywhere else online, you can check her out at Astrid Pizarro's YouTube, where we do the Ladies Wrestling Showcase every 2 weeks. We just uploaded a really awesome episode talking about Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, that feud that's kind of coming out there, all the interesting kind of, as I said, branches upon branches of storyline that we can go for and things that we have to take into consideration. So again, that's at Astro Pizarro. You don't want to miss out on that. You can also catch a Melball on our local establishment's original programming, Paramindful, and we've also got a few more other shows coming up for you. We're just going to have to get them filmed, but we're going to have them coming out for you. So remember to check out OLE, our local establishment. Give them a like and follow so when you know when they come out. That being said, my friend, do you have anything left to say to the beautiful people?
No, just thank you so much for watching us here. Please like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I am your Melba. Over there is Andre. We will catch you next time. Mwah!